telling you every single fact and all the information I've gathered on Blox over the past few years of playing it. Let's get into it. Fact number one, if you see a player that looks like this, who is only using one thing, most electric or high damaging fighting style, or maybe magma fruit, and their avatar looks like this, like they don't want you to see them, then they are a hacker. Now, you may be confused about how to tell if someone is an exploiter or if they're a normal new player and human. And here are the top 3 ways I've figured out over the time of playing Blox how to tell if someone is an exploiter or just a noob. Way number 1, if they have a suspicious name, like Stupid Goldfish 08202 or something like that, then they're most likely an exploiter. Someone who just has an auto randomized name. But most of the time, it's a hacker, and I don't recommend reporting someone if they have a weird looking name. I recommend testing the other facts and then saying. Way number 2, if they're using one high damaging strength style and possibly magma fruit, then they're definitely hacking. Especially if they do have a suspicious name too. Way number 3, if you catch them in the act, well, then this is the most secure and best way to tell. Now let's take a break from all the exploiters and all that malarkey, and let's get into the fun bits of Blox and some facts that you may not have known about Blox, not including things about hackers, because then that's just going to make you quit the game because you hear too much about hackers. Let's get into the fun bits of the game, shall we? Fun fact about Blox is if you see a noob, like this person here, who isn't using hacks, if you want to go roll them a fruit and be kind, help out the community a little bit. Should I get a smoke? Hey, take this. There you go. Oh no, don't die, don't die, don't die! Oh, they're low! Come on! Eat the fruit, quick! There they are, they eat the fruit. Okay, they can get good fruit, but hey, should talk about a little bit since it's an elemental. Except many people do not know, it's actually that you can keep the falcon wings when you switch to other fruit. If you don't believe this, then let's test it out. And now let's switch to another fruit. Test this out. You can still keep the wings. Similar to the falcon wings fact, you can actually still keep the ghost form even when you switch to other fruit. Another fun fact is that the dragon colours cost less than aura colours in berry, which is surprising given that the dragon is huge. Fun fact about fruit fusions is that a lot of the better fruits are actually just mixes of lower tier fruits. Say Blizzard, it's actually just really a mix of smoke and ice. Although you do not get a water walking ability with Blizzard like ice. If you're wondering why it's thought to be a smoke and ice mix, it's obviously related to ice, but smoke is actually a very good grinding fruit early because of the smoke bomb ability. Enemies not being able to touch you. If they don't have ranged attacks, they're unable to hit you. The most commonly known fact in Blox is that sand takes 2 times as much damage in water. Best fruit used in the first sea is light. This is because of the high mobility in each of its moves and the high speed F move. And the fact that it's an elemental makes it super great in the first. In the second sea, you may think, yeah, it should be just as good because you can awaken it. Well, no, this is because it gets overtaken by Buddha in the second and third sea. Second place in the best grinding fruit in the first sea goes to Magma because of the spammable moves, making it super good for grinding, but not for getting around, so you're going to still need to use both. The highest damaging single target move goes to Bottom Sea. Even the There's 3,762 damage minimum if all of the things hit. And the maximum damage Bomb C move held can do has a total of 41,325 damage. You know how much that is? And the maximum health a player can have is 13,095. So you could kill 2 players with Bomb C move. Given that they would heal a little bit, so say it's 14,000 if they got attacked by every single month in quick succession, so they wouldn't heal much. So yeah, probably about 13,500 damage, I'd say. And that's to each player maximum. But if they do have the dark coat, they would get a big health increase, but that still wouldn't be enough to help them survive it. It would, however, help them survive most of the held Bomb C move if they shared damage with their friend, if they were teamers. So it's probably one of the best moves that isn't a V move to use against teamers. Obviously, Bomb's V does a lot of damage, but nowhere near. It does 1/3 as much damage as the C move can do, and that's the maximum of the V move, taking away pretty much all your health. Similar to the previous fact, the highest damaging AoE move does 71,772 damage. If you're wondering what the fruit would be, the fruit is Quake. The Awakened V move does 71,772 damage. You heard that right. Which surprisingly is only about double what Thingy can do. Because keep in mind, this is only to 12 people, which is the max a player the Blox server can have. Although it hasn't been tested yet, I do think Dragon's C move, transformed, does do more damage than Quake's V to 12 targets. So I do think if it is found out how much damage Dragon's transformed C move does, then yes, Dragon probably would have taken the cake for highest damaging AoE move. But Dragon is the most expensive fruit out there. And it costs 5 times as much as Quake. If Quake costs 1,000, which I'm pretty sure it costs a bit more than that. So I'm pretty sure it costs 1,500. So that's quite close to. It does mean that Quake is only 3 times less than Dragon, which may sound like a lot, but it really isn't when you're thinking that the highest damaging AoE moves could possibly go to other fruits, like Buddha V. What people don't think about is Buddha's V move. That does a bunch of damage. Last time I checked, the highest damage that can do was tested in a raid by me. 31,000 damage. Obviously to a bunch of targets, and not 12 targets, definitely more than 12 targets. But still, you see how if you change the amount of enemies it can damage, how crazy. Even some of the fruits that you wouldn't think about doing a bunch of damage would do a bunch of damage if there was more targets, obviously. But Buddha's V at the end does do a bunch of damage to enemies. And if you weren't keeping up with the recent Blox fruits updates, the fruits that got reworked recently were Chop, Diamond, and Dragon. Did you know that if you have 0 fruit stats and use the love fruit, the Besto Friendo will still scale on your level and do as much damage as a max level player would do? That's M1. Also, if the Besto Friendo eliminates an NPC, you will get sword stats. So this is a great way to grind a bunch of sword stats on NPCs that are high level. You could just keep on clicking V, and the NPCs will just fade away. Don't you know that? They're not standing like a true survivor either, but you will be. Your best old friend, no one be though. There's nothing standing like a survivor, 'cause you're not surviving. The fact is that Sanguine is the best fighting style if you want to heal, because its first move gives you quite a lot of health back. The fact that not many people know is that Hello Scythe's X move actually is one of the moves in the game that does low damage at the start and then goes into high damage, which means if you hit someone, watch this bit 3 damage into 785, which is makes it one of the moves in the game which does very low damage at the start and then goes into high damage, which makes it very hard to tell how many stats people have in it. And if you have high master on it, it's gonna do great damage. So, what was the fact? Nope. The fact is, if the opponent is under 50% health, the X move does 1.2 times the damage. Another fact in Blox is that my luck is terrible. To prove it, this proves it. I must wait 1 minute and 0 seconds, 0 minutes. Let's roll again and see. Oh my god. See, this is what happened before. My luck is terrible. Oh, let's go put the flame through. This is going to be better than the fruit I roll. Let's see. What do I roll? Okay, let's do this. Roll. I told you. This is worse. In cost, it's 100 better. But this is a disgrace, so we're not counting it as a better fruit, we're counting it as a worse fruit. Crispy bird. Please subscribe and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.